Welcome back, you all. Welcome back to Married at First Sight's reunion part one. So this is the episode that we've been waiting months for. All the rumors and the rumors of rumors. Finally, we're getting to some real facts and what's really going on. Kevin Frazier opens up with Jose and Rachel, also known as Rose. And Kevin begins to tell Jose that Jose knew that he was locking Rachel out and he was doing it intentionally because he was angry. Of course, Jose, being Jose, struggles with the truth before he finally accepts it and says, "Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I was wrong. I did that. I was upset. I was angry." And so Rachel, she's kind of been justifying things for Jose throughout the whole season. So I was wondering, is it that Rachel seems to have a pattern, like a lot of us ladies do, falling for the representative and not the real man behind the representative? So anyway, so it turns out that after decision day, Rachel ended up moving out of Jose's house and back to live with her mom because there were some issues with Rachel and her stuff. Like, she moved into Jose's house and Jose is busy telling her, "Hey, you've got too much stuff. When are you going to unpack your stuff? I don't know where your stuff is going," and so forth and so on. Like, basically Jose being Jose, i.e., the representative. Jose was being impatient and kind of rude to Rachel, even though he claims he wants to stay married to Rachel, but we shall see. Well, Summer Rachel decided to take several trips since she was back with her mom and not living with her husband. But in the meantime, Jose and Rachel are trying to rekindle the relationship. So they're talking on the phone and they're actually spending time getting to know each other better, which could be a good thing because, I mean, honestly, how do you marry somebody at first sight? You don't know them from a can of paint. So Jose claims that he's not cheap about traveling, but the key to that statement is that that's when he wants to travel. He ain't said nothing about Switzerland. He's still on San Antonio, and I think he might have finally progressed to actually going to Mexico. All right. So, Rachel, my thoughts to you are hopefully you're negotiable on this travel issue because Jose may not be, but we shall see. Now we're on to Brett and Ryan. If you recall from the decision day, both Brett and Ryan said no to staying married. Um, Ryan says that, you know, things changed for them right after the honeymoon when they returned back to Houston. Um, they were very different people. He didn't go into any particulars, but we can recall from the honeymoon when all the couples were seated that politics came up, and apparently the two of them may be members of different political parties. Ouch. So I'm not sure why Ryan's friends and family, when they married, when he married Brett, why they felt the need to tell Brett over and over again that she was not Ryan's type. Um, and does Ryan actually have a type? Because he seems to be pretty shallow and quite a bit of a horn dog. So if you're a horn dog and you like laying down and betting women when you first meet them, do you really have a type? Mm. Alexa, Ryan's sister, comes out and she joins the couple and she begins to talk about how Ryan has a history of woman hopping. Okay, so that's what I was just saying. He's a woman hopper. Um, but then she says she found out to her surprise, her sister-in-law, Brett, was seeing another man on the side while complaining that Ryan was so distracted. Just a whole messy mess. And this was all before decision day. Ryan said that the rumor was validated by several sources. Excuse me? Validated by several sources? Well, you have the FBI and the CIA following Brett around, checking her cell phone. What's going on? My thought is, if you guys are thinking what I'm thinking, Brett's friend want her man. So I don't know, Brett. You might want to keep an eye out with your girlfriends. Just saying. So now, moving on to Gil and Mirla, or Girla as they're sometimes called. Um, Gil, uh, let me just say that first of all, the couple look really nice. They're kind of somewhat matching in the red hues. He's got on like a burgundy, looks like on my TV, black silk shirt, and some red bottom shoes. Okay. Let me just say that Gil has really, really big feet. Okay. So Kevin, Kevin Frazier says, Gil, you really showed a lot of patience. Uh, Mirla wouldn't allow you to kiss her at the wedding and the reception. How did you get to be so patient? He's just singing Gil's praises. I'm expecting the choir to come out any moment now and just begin to sing praises for Gil along with Kevin. I'm not really seeing it. I'm not seeing that Gil was so wonderful. Yes, he did show some patience initially, but I swear, as a viewer, I can almost pinpoint the episode when Gil consummated his marriage with his wife because he no longer wanted to make any smoothies or shakes for his wife. He got very arrogant, and his whole attitude, his whole persona changed, i.e., he dropped his representative. Okay? But anyway, um, Gil just like seemed to be also very resentful and passive aggressive toward Marilla. And Marilla, I think she kind of waited until the reunion to actually have her say. She allowed Gil to poke fun at her, as some people call it. I call it demeaning, rude, and verbally abusive, but that's just me, right? I'm just saying. Um, Gil basically made the same mistake as Jose. Uh, he didn't listen to his wife. She told him she didn't want to rush things like physical intimacy, but instead, Gil was just busy like trying to give her these massages early on, giving her ultimatums about he was going to divorce her if she didn't give him his precious kiss. Oh my goodness, the whole thing. So then we get to the bombshell that even though they both said yes on decision day to stay married, 2 weeks later, they separated. Merla says it was a variety of things. Um, Mirla, like many women, when looking for a spouse, a husband, a long term partner, she wanted financial stability. And, also in addition, she also wanted a certain lifestyle that she wanted to maintain. I see no problem with that because if we flip it around and Gil was earning a lot more money than Mirla, um, would he really want to come and change his lifestyle just to live her lifestyle when he's capable of doing more and differently? I don't think so. I've never heard of a woman saying, "Oh, I'm going to marry this millionaire, but we're going to live like thousandaires." Let me know down in the comment sections if you're familiar with that situation. Okay, I really want to know. But Gil, anyway, he claims that he was blindsided. Um, but was he really? I mean, you shouldn't have been, Gil. You know, you were behaving rudely, speaking rudely, demeaning her, poking fun at her, princessa, which I'm understanding from some Hispanic associates that that's basically like saying the B word. Not too cool. So who wants to live like that? Who wants that to be their permanent life? But Gil says, well, my dumb ass, I decided to stay with her up until she decided that she was going to leave me. Gil, um, you left instead, but I promise you, Gil, Mirla left too, because there's no way she's living in a place where you still might have copies of the keys. I promise you that. Gil says, well, I don't know. I guess I didn't have enough money for Mirla. Mirla's like, well, I think you're projecting, Gil. And I agree with Mirla. I do think that he's projecting because if he had shown more interest in getting to know her for who she truly was instead of complaining about her being motivated by money, I think that things would have went better for them. But that's just my thought, and I'm just saying. Uh, Kevin goes ahead and spills the beans without any tact and says, well, you know what? Mirla really doesn't want you, Gil. Um, and she says, yeah, she kind of explains it and puts it into her own words. And she says, no, I don't want to be married to him anymore. Sometimes things just don't work. I appreciate Gil for saying that he's in therapy and he's trying to heal these wounds and his hurt and move on and move past it. This has not been easy for him. And I do appreciate him as a man, particularly as an African American man, African Hispanic man, sharing that, you know, it's okay to get therapy, it's okay to seek professional help. Um, he should probably share that with a few other of his castmates too. I'm not calling any names, but it sounds like whack, but it starts with a Z. Okay. So uh, Kevin seems to think that there's a long line of single women waiting to help Gil with healing. Maybe that's some sexual healing. I'm not really sure, but however that goes, okay? However that goes. And then we move on to the scene where the Houston men sit down with Kevin to talk some more. We see vignettes of Gil on the stripper pole during the bachelor party. Um, wow. Okay. Next vignette they show of the two men in the group that seem to have liberty to cry quite a bit. And that was Zach and Johnny. I thought it was kind of funny that there was this violin music playing for both of them. Um, I don't know why during this grouping, Gil says now he suddenly um, he really appreciates his wife Mirla's drive, her her goal-driven motivation, and now he wants more out of life all of a sudden. That's really interesting, Gil. She wanted you to want more for like the last 2, 3 months, and now you decide that you want more. Okay, I don't know. I don't think that really works because I think that each of us as individuals, be it either male or female, man or woman, You have to have your own reasons for wanting to strive harder and to thrive more. That's just me thinking. So I don't know. Tell me what you think. You know where, down in the comments section. Finally they get to Jose and Johnny's bromance, as they call it. No ma'am, I'm not touching this topic. Not with a 10-foot pole. And no pun intended. Last but not least, we get to Kay and Zach. Michaela and Zach. We find out from Kevin that Michaela did not want to film with Zach next to her. So they're doing these separately. So Michaela's talking to Kevin Frazier, and she's saying to him, well, I didn't want to film with Zach because I have to protect my energy. Michaela, I got a tip for you. In the future, if that's the case, if you really truly want to protect your energy, I suggest that you start with protecting your body and your heart. For us as women, it's important for us not to dive in head first. Check the temperature of the water, gather the data, and see this person in different situations. Like, find out if he really cares for you, if he really wants you for more than just your body. I noticed that Michaela, she threw all wedding and social cues out the window when in the scene where they were getting married, when she first sees Zach for the first time. You know, he's gorgeous. Oh, you're so gorgeous. You're so handsome. Oh, he. Michaela, no, babe, you're not 17 or 16. No woman should be telling a grown arse man how gorgeous he is on their wedding day and throwing all caution to the wind. That's the outside, babe. That's the outside. And the outside really is not a good indicator necessarily of the inside. Get to know the guy. But when you did that, I thought to myself, Michaela's unstable. It's unfortunate. She's a attractive, beautiful young woman, clearly intelligent, but she's emotionally unstable. And I don't say that to be cruel, um, but it was a strong indicator for me. And sadly, Michaela, you did not prove me wrong. Yeah, Zach, he did gaslight you, but who's responsible for your behavior? Ultimately, is you, Michaela. And, go on to talk about your wedding, the decision day. You said yes. Zach said no. He wanted a divorce, right? So, Michaela, shortly after Zach told you to your face in front of the experts that he wanted a divorce, that he didn't see himself being married to you, and oh, it was also convoluted. He wanted to not be married, wanted to be divorced from the past, but let's just still date and see how things go. Babe, did you not find that to be a line? Men say that all the time when they just want to have sex with you. I don't know if your mom or your two sisters ever had that woman to woman talk, but guys talk crap just to get the cookie. Okay? The cookie. They like cookies. And Zach liked your cookie, but he doesn't like you. So sad to say, Michaela, but in the future, just be aware. Just be aware of that, okay? Now, allegedly, Zach, according to Michaela, Zach allegedly told her that he only wants to speak to her after this 7, 8 days was over with of sexing and her cooking and cleaning his place. And he asked her to leave and he put her out. Then he told her by text that he only wants to speak to her in the presence of other people. Now, how hurtful and sad is that? So finally, we get to Zach sit down with Kevin so he can give his side. And while he's talking and saying that Kay needs to take responsibility for her behavior, which I do agree with Zach on that, even though he's confused about a lot of things and the way he speaks and talks is very confusing. Michaela says back in the green room, I always take responsibility. I don't think that's true, Michaela. No. So Kayla told the experts that Zach had no proof of her misbehaving. I think that kind of throws everything out the window, Kay. You've not been truthful, and we can't really trust you. You don't give truthful narratives. Both of these two, Zach and Michaela, in my opinion, have trouble with the facts and the truth. Um, might be time for both of them to see professionals and get the help that they need. Do not collect the $200. Do not pass go. Just go straight to therapy. Michaela decides to return to the set. Security, security, security. And that will be continued next week. So stay tuned. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell at the top so that you get notified for all new videos. Take care and see you real soon. Bye, y'all.